Just because a person lacks the use of his eyes doesn't mean that he lacks vision, said Stevie Wonder, the famous American singer who is visually challenged. Yet most of us find it difficult to believe and accept this. Visually challenged people are capable of doing many things as competently as non-disabled people. Look at these youngsters packing power and punch in their karate moves. Incidentally, they are visually challenged students of the Indian Association for the Blind, or IAB, in Madurai. Doesn't their power-packed performance challenge popular notions about visual disability? Every morning, the golden glow of the rising sun bathes the temple towers of the Meenakshi temple in Madurai. The city stirs and throbs as people go about their lives. The temple city of Madurai is also home to another temple of rehabilitation, the Indian Association for the Blind. Indian Association for the Blind is located in Sundarrajanpatti, a lovely little village on the outer fringes of Madurai. The 27-year-old Rehabilitation Institution for the Visually Challenged was founded in 1985 by SMA Jinnah, the well-known visually challenged activist. Born in 1944 in Erwadi, a village in Tirunelveli district of Tamil Nadu, Jinnah is the middle child in a family of 4 brothers and a sister. Everything conspired against Jinnah right from the start. His father deserted the family when Jinnah was just 1 year old. To add to the troubles, his mother died when he was just 3 years old. The most traumatic event in young Jinnah's life, however, was a freak road accident when he was 13 years old. It resulted in vision loss in both eyes due to optic nerve damage. At that time, he was studying in class 7 and discontinued his studies midway because of the accident.
As soon as I lost my sight, immediate feeling was, when sight is lost, everything is lost. Therefore I was crying and crying nearly 5 years. That was my immediate reaction. As soon as a man became blind, we have to incur many losses. To be brief, loss of reading, loss of writing, loss of mobility, loss of occupation, or loss of my social status. Actually, the public is overestimating the problems of the blind people. At the same time, they are underestimating the potentials of the blind people. It is not the fault of the public, but the blind people have to prove themselves that they are not a liability, They are not burden to the society. They must work hard to become a regular citizen, at least to the maximum possible.
It's not the blindness, but the attitude of the seeing that is the hardest burden to bear, said Helen Keller. Against this backdrop, Jinnah decided to resume his education because he wanted to be self-reliant. Such a decision was much against the wishes of his family. Jinnah, however, had different aspirations and dreams. He had heard of the Palayamkottai School for the Blind, established in 1890, the oldest of its kind in the country. Here again was a hurdle, the first of many in Jinnah's life. He was clearly overage for enrollment in the school. Yet his deep desire for education impressed the local MLA, who arranged to get him admitted in class 7 in the Palayamkottai School for the Blind. Adding to Jinnah's burdens was his lack of knowledge of Braille, the reading language used by visually challenged people. Jinnah, ever ready for new challenges, responded by mastering Braille in just a month. In 1964, a chance meeting with Dr. G. Jayaraman at the Palayamkottai School for the Blind changed Jinnah's life forever. Dr. Jayaraman, who himself is polio affected and visually impaired, is a mentor and role model to Jinnah, like Anne Sullivan was to Helen Keller.
I saw Jinnah a different person, and he was ambitious. He had a lot of potential. I thought he could be groomed to come out and do something. Then I went to USA for special training in educating the blind. Finished the course there, came back to the Palayamkottai school to teach there for a year. It was then we started planning. We started thinking of the future of the blind there. Blind should not remain just like that in a closed environment. We did certain innovations there. One, we started teaching Hindi to them so that they can go to North and get some job opportunities. We started making other activities so that boys would come out of this lethargy and think of something more, something bigger. Dependency is the worst curse of any disability. Independence, if it is given, much of the problems of disability can be solved. So this is what we started thinking.
Dr. Jayaraman coached him to take the matriculation examination as a private candidate. Jinnah later enrolled for an economics undergraduate course and later a postgraduate course at the American College in Madurai. He competed with sighted students on equal terms and won gold medals at both the undergraduate and postgraduate courses. For Jinnah, visual impairment was no barrier in his quest for excellence. Jinnah attributes his success to the support of his friends, classmates, and mentor principal Dr. M. Thangaraj. While still in college, Jinnah started rehabilitation programs for the visually challenged in association with intercollegiate youth groups. In 1968, Jinnah, along with Dr. Jayaraman and well-known ophthalmologist Dr. G. Venkataswamy of Aravind Eye Care Systems, Madurai, started a daycare center for the blind in KK Nagar. He later handed over the school to the government in 1973. Through such initiatives, he sought to encourage and support people with visual impairment to continue their education. Jinnah later worked as headmaster in the government school for the blind in Madurai from 1980 to 1999. In 1981, Jinnah went to the Perkins Institute for the Blind, Boston University in the US on a Rotary International Scholarship. He did a one-year diploma in teaching the visually impaired. The Perkins visit helped Jinnah realize the importance of professional services for the visually impaired. It also sensitized him to the role of technology in fostering a sense of self-reliance in people who are visually impaired. On completing the course, Jinnah was offered the lucrative post of project officer in the Perkins Institute. But he refused as he wanted to return to India and dedicate himself to the upliftment of the visually challenged in the country. A few years later, after he returned to India, Jinnah established the Indian Association for the Blind in 1985.
The great challenge was thrown on him. Okay, you started an institution for the blind who are among Muslim people. So if you admit only Muslim blind person in the institution, we give you any amount of money. In such a condition for Jinnah, everybody is fairly aware, accepted immediately with his both hands to accept this offer. But he said no. That is a great challenge. He said never. It is for the blind people, not for the blind Christian, blind Hindu, blind Muslim. No, I want only blind people. That's all.
Then and now, the managing committee of IAB consists of 13 members. Of these, 6 are visually challenged women and 3 visually challenged men. IAB is the only institution of its kind in India that offers comprehensive rehabilitation services for the visually impaired to make them self-reliant. The capacity building services include skill training like IAB computerized braille press, recording library, computer literacy, IAB orchestra, and bookbinding. The access to education services include the IAB Higher Secondary School, integrated education from class 1 to post-graduation, the Braille Library, tutorial center for distance education, and the lending library. The employment opportunities include the Tata IAB call center in the campus, the deflashing unit in collaboration with High Tech Array in Madurai that makes automobile spare parts such as oil seals, and the light engineering unit that makes foldable canes for the visually challenged. In Tamil Nadu, out of the 30,000 educated and vocationally trained visually challenged people, 20% are being educated, rehabilitated, and even employed at the IAB. IAB began with just 8 students. S. Paunathai 60 and A. Sermathai 62 are among the first batch of IAB students. Today, after successful careers as teachers in government schools, both of them teach at IAB. Their inspiration? SMA Jinnah, of course.
கவர்மெண்ட் ஜாப் கிடைச்சிச்சு. கவர்மெண்ட் ஜாப் கிடைக்கும்போது அதில் நான் நல்லா ஷைன் பண்ணேன். அதுக்கெல்லாம் காரணம் நம்ம ஐஏபி ஸ்கூலில் கிடைச்ச எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் தான்.
2007 மே வரைக்கும் அரசு பள்ளியில் வேலை செஞ்சுட்டு ரிட்டையர்ட் ஆகிட்டேன். திருப்பி இங்கேயே இப்போ ஐஏபிலேயே எக்கனாமிக்ஸும் ஹிஸ்ட்ரி எடுத்துகிட்டு 12ஆம் வகுப்புக்கு எடுத்துக்கிட்டு இங்கே ஆசிரியராக இருக்கேன். இப்போது பப்ளிக் அதாவது கவர்மெண்ட் ஸ்கூலில் வேலை பார்த்தப்பவும் எல்லாரும் நல்லா பாராட்டுற அளவுக்கு நல்லபடியாக சைன் பண்ணேன். அதுக்கு இங்கே கரஸில் எடுத்த கிளாஸு, ஐஏபியில் கிடைச்ச பயிற்சி, அதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப உதவியாக இருக்குது.
Since inception, IAB has educated and rehabilitated more than 6,000 visually challenged students. Some, like Dr. B.R. Ravikannan, are in mainstream professions like teaching. Dr. Kannan is Professor of English at Saurashtra College in Madurai.
Equal opportunities, equal experience should be given to the blind people.
My goal has always been equality of opportunities and experiences for people with visual disabilities. Society needs to be sensitized to the potentials and problems of the visually impaired. They're no different from others, says SMA Jinnah. At a first glance, R. Bala Saraswati, a telephone operator with the Central Bank of India, Madurai, indeed looks no different from others. One of the earliest students of IAB, the self-reliance mantra she learnt here has now made her completely independent. SMA Jinnah is the recipient of numerous prestigious national and international awards for his pioneering work in rehabilitation of the visually challenged. His work impressed philanthropist D.K. Patel of Help the Blind Foundation, Hong Kong, which has supported the construction of the new school and hostel building in the IAB campus. When he was just 18 years old, SMA Jinnah decided to take the road less travelled. And that has made all the difference, not only in his life, but in the lives of thousands of visually challenged people, filling them with laughter and joy, redefining their abilities, reaffirming their worth and dignity as human beings, and enabling them to break free of limitations in their quest for excellence. Why IAB needs your help? India has the highest incidence of blindness in the world. 1 out of every 3 visually challenged persons is an Indian. You can make a big difference by sponsoring the education of an IAB student or contributing to the modernization and expansion of educational and technical courses offered by IAB. All contributions are exempt from income tax under 80G category. IAB is eligible for overseas donations under the FCRA regulation. For further details, contact SMA Jinnah, Founder and Secretary, Indian Association for the Blind, Sundarrajan Patti, Alagarkovil Main Road, Arumbanur Post, Madurai 625104. Phone 914523291576 919600822994. Email iabmdu@gmail.com. URL www.theiab.org.